My MO, I'm steady fighting failure. Remember where I was at when Tower 7 fell? I don't think that was a danger to mankind, and now they face a hell in a cell. Going to see the Undertaker if it's a chance that he tell.
First off, Super Nitro, going off of who's the elder of the two. Super Nitro from Brooklyn, of course. Where else? One half of the Brooklyn dynasty, of course, compromised and made up with his younger brother, his other half, in the ring at least, JT Riddick.
JT Riddick!
What's going on, everybody?
Nitro.
And of course, as you know already, my friend, the wrestler, you can find the audio version on P at this point now. I'm glad to announce. Video will be up soon enough as well, too, on the YouTube. Who This Is One, the channel to find those. And let's see, most recent updates, I guess you boys have been back in the ring. At least Super Nitro has been as of recently.
Yes. I done got in the ring, of course, against the great old All-Star Dallas. Great guy in the ring, very young guy, of course, you know, upcoming superstars, but, you know, very agile, you know, high flyer, very good in the ring. But, of course, I was able to take him down. Bang, had to show him. Even though he got skills, I have skills myself. So
even though he was spry and young, you still got him.
Yes, you know, even though he's still a spring chicken, I'm still a legend. Not a legend, but a vet, you could say, you know.
We're getting there. We're building up. Well, you got the Brooklyn Dynasty, you two. So, of course, you're building up your legacy as we speak, match per match.
Exactly.
You know, milestone per milestone, and more importantly, belt per belt as you acquire more and more of the gold.
Definitely. Yep. That's definitely the goal for myself and my brother, JT Riddick, wherever he's at. If he's downstairs or to the left, to the right. But anyways, for us, for Brooklyn Dynasty, to achieve more and to let our names be known and let the world know why we are the Dynasty and why we will continue to grow and be better than we are now. Now, you know, now we're upcoming.
Exactly.
But by the time, this time next year, you should know, continue to know Brooklyn Dynasty. Real,
I guess if I was you guys' tag team belts, I'd be pretty mad once things go back to normal enough where you're gonna have to be traveling and going back to matches again. You're probably like sitting comfy at home with your two.
Right now, yeah, exactly.
Making the
Right
rounds.
now, just chilling, taking it easy, and it's like they don't have to worry about sweats. no musty gear, no like musty anything.
Yeah, get stuffed in there with a gear bag and stuff. Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, here we go.
I meant to ask you guys that since thank God you're both champions. How does that work with the belts before this whole thing hit? Did you put them in the same bag as your gear, or like its own little slot, different bag? How does that work?
It goes in the same. Well, for me, it goes in the same bag as my gear. You do have a bag for the belts, but if it's brand spanking new, because it's brand new. But in general sense, like obviously, like any other promotional companies, like when you get a belt, we just put it in the bag with our gear. If it fits, it fits. If it don't, we of course have another bag, or we do the old school style. We just carry it. Like there's no space in my bag, so I'm gonna just hold on to it.
Yeah, basically, like piggyback off what he was saying, the most important thing you got to have when you show up to your gear is your gear and your belt. You can't show up and say, "Oh, I don't have it." So you're gonna obviously have, like for me, I gotta make sure my gear bag is big enough to hold my belt. So yeah, my belt always goes with me in my gear bag.
Have you guys ever thought of, or I don't know if you've done it yet, have you brought your belts to like live events or like Raw, SmackDown, if you got it all? Since you know it's a thing amongst fans.
Of course, that's like we're all wrestling fans. So honestly, since winning the belts, I've been to maybe one live event since. I didn't really bring my championship. So, you know, you have your, how you say, you know, we are wrestlers and then we're fans. So sometimes we transition from wrestler and then we like, all right, we're fans. So we'll bring our the other promotional championship over there. So we'll bring like, all right, you know, yes, we're NEW stars, but you know what? Now today I'm gonna be a fan, so I'm gonna bring my WWE championship to the event.
Yeah, I agree because you know, you like he was just saying, you're a fan, you're both a fan. And it's like for that event, I want to be a fan. I don't want to, you know, I'm watching the show.
Speaking of, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a
Mm-hmm.
second. Speaking of, just be talking about championships. I got a vintage belt from almost like 20 years ago. Bam!
That's a
Oh,
classic one
nice.
right there.
Vintage right here. See?
Yeah.
WWE gets this. WWE Vince gets this. Look at how old the strap is.
Damn.
It's falling
Vintage.
apart. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it's
Crinkly.
but basically this is when Super Nitro becomes a fan. My boots go up and now I'm imitating somebody else. I'm not Super Nitro here. I'm either one of my old-time favorites, like The Rock, aka Swing the Belt. But yes, you know, in the retrospective, you know, we become fans. So I guess, you know, we don't become our wrestlers, we become fans. Well, me, I speak for myself.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree wholeheartedly. I'm a fan. I bring in like I gotta find mine. I bring my old WWF Intercontinental title because, like, you know, like you said, it's just, at that point, you know, it's like that's when you fell in love with it, and it's like, yeah, I'm a fan today. So I don't want to try to promote myself or nothing. Like, I want to enjoy the show, boo, cheer, mark out, just go nuts.
I get that. But touching on the fact that you're both tag teams and tag team champions, excuse me, let's never forget that part, de-emphasize that. There seems to be, well, it's been evident for a long time as far as the tag teams are concerned in the WWE, with Vince kind of either throwing guys together, see if it works. Most times it does, it doesn't. But more evident is breaking up tag teams, or guys we know, girls we know to be together for a while, just randomly splitting up. One gets the push, one doesn't. One takes an indefinite break. One gets some sort of half-ass mid-card sort of push.
No, that happens.
I was shocked this past week on Raw. One of all things, I don't know if you guys caught that match, but there was a match between the Iconics versus the 2 out of 3 of the Riot Squad. What's the name? Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. Where the stipulation was losing team has to break up for good, so they can't be together no more. I would think, since the Iconics were brought in as a tag team from NXT to the main roster, we've always known them to be two together, 2 peas in a pod. There's no way they're going to split them up. It's obviously a way to get, you know, Liv away from Ruby. Hopefully both of them get an equal enough push. To our surprise, all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, it's the Iconics that get split up. So now we know already Peyton has, what's his name, Shawn Spears in AEW. He's doing his thing over there. Billie Kay, I don't know what her deal is, but honestly, I don't see her getting too far ahead without Peyton Royce at his side. And from what I read, they're really trying to push Peyton as a single star and give her, you know, enough shine to be a star in the company, a leading face per se. So is this proof positive now? Oh, and also, by the way, if you read, the Authors of Pain got released, I think, a day or two ago officially.
Yeah, Authors of Pain. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Which I was upset about. I don't know how you guys feel, because I loved them in NXT. They were just big, badass guys, wrecking shop, became champs quick, were convincing. Paul Edeling helped them out a lot too as well. Got the Raw tag belts, but didn't do much, or weren't allowed to do much, at least. In storylines that made no sense, they got formal business suits and everything too. One gets injured, now they're both released. So is it evident now? Are we like confident enough to say Vince hates tag team wrestling officially now? Or how would you guys feel?
Yes, I'll go first. I want to say something about this.
I got something to say.
I got something to say, damn it. You know what? Vince, I've heard that plenty of times, that Vince hates tag team. More so, he hates factions. He hates factions. He doesn't. But anyways, I guess it corresponds with him with hating tag teams. Yeah, because it's like, if you notice, like, the most oddly pairs, non-tag team wrestlers will be tag team champions before actual tag team wrestlers. Yep. And it's like, so that irony of it. I'm like, yo, this is why you build tag teams. So it takes away, so it gives them something to shine off of. It's like, that's the point. You know, tag teams, like, are there because obviously they're not going to, like right now they're not on the main event spot. You're giving other wrestlers a chance to shine. It's like not everybody can go for the world, for the mid-card championships. Get tag, if you have tag teams, you're giving the fans something else to look at besides just singles competitors. Single competition matches. I just don't understand why he hates it so much. I don't get it. But yeah, he just doesn't like it. But it's very stressful because then when he does put a pair together, you're like, that's what that then what's so funny is that two singles competitors together, they're taking out the tag team. You know what I'm saying? It's like he makes it a joke. It's like when he doesn't like something, you see it because he makes it a joke. Like, oh my, like look at this, look at how insulting this is. Like prime example, when he doesn't want to push a superstar, obviously we know that he'll like, all right, we'll give you what you want, but we're gonna make it a joke. Like again, some title runs, obviously, definitely prime examples are world championship runs. Like, all right, fine, you want these runs, we're gonna give it to you, but we're gonna make it a joke just to show you how much I respect it. So that's my rant on it.
How about you, JT?
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. He shows it. His action shows it all the time. It's like, I remember the one that stuck out to me the most in recent memories when he broke up American Alpha. Those guys just tore down the stage in NXT, man.
Exactly.
Those were like, seriously, I was watching it, and it was them. Forgive me, I can't remember the other teams, but I'm watching NXT. I'm like, of course, obviously, this is the baby WWE. Ascension. Yeah, these are the baby WWE. So I'm like, all right, these guys, this is the tag team division is in good hands, but it's like every chance he gets, he's either firing them or he's splitting them up. And I don't get it. I don't. None of us know. I don't have his number or somebody that works in there and be like, hey, what's Vince's deal? But it is very frustrating because, like Soup said, it's like you can't push everybody like in the mid cards and in the world title, especially when you like the thing that kills me is like Vince I'm gonna be honest, I feel personally, my opinion is he's already got like this big insecurity, like how am I gonna last? I'm like, dude, you're like, even when you give crap, you still the top, you're the top, you're head echelon. But it's like you have all these people. Why not? You have all these tag teams, you have two different tag team divisions. Use them, utilize them, give people something to watch versus like forcing other BS down our throats. So I mean, it is down the throat. Yeah, the same BS. Like how many times can you reinvent this person or reinvent that person or push this person or is like push this person to the moon and whatnot. So I just, and then like you said, you split up. Like the biggest thing I feel is like Soup said, I agree. Is like, okay, the women's revolution is supposed to be like this big thing, right? But it's like y'all are only focusing on the women's title. But it's like you have all these women who can actually work. Why aren't you pushing this tag team division to really push it? To me, that's the most frustrating thing. You're doing that, but now you put all of the women as one. Basically, Sasha and Bailey were tag and individual champions. Only you have all these other women lining up to like that can really do something with it. Give them the actual shot. Exactly. But I mean, but to be honest, like it's guys from the Stone Age, man. It's like it's frustrating because he's gonna run the company the way he wants to run it, and that's why like reality of it is like everyone says the best product on the market is NXT. Let's just be honest.
But then I heard also that even NXT, I don't know how true it is because, like I said, sometimes I don't keep up with it. So I just go by hearsay. But I heard that that Triple H not really running it as much as anymore as he used to. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I have heard that, and I hope that's not the case
because it's crazy, like you said, like Vince Raw. Raw is Vince's bread and butter. SmackDown. Basically, SmackDown is the step cousin of Raw because even when SmackDown let's go back in time when SmackDown was at one point was better than Raw. Vince didn't like that. That's why he took certain superstars. That was a great deal on SmackDown, bring them to Raw because you're the reason why this brand is popular.
Yeah, of course, because Raw is the flagship show.
And now because NXT is really a production show, honestly, and the production show is better than your actual star power show. So of course I'm not gonna have that. Let's just go in the brain of Vince. I'm not gonna have that. So what, Trips? You know what, Trips? You know what, Hunter? You know what, Paul? I'm gonna take this away from you. and we're gonna basically, I'm gonna shit this out. I'm gonna make this a shit show so people can stop watching this and go back to Raw. But Raw has not been like really good. It hasn't been. It's like the storylines are kind of bland. You know, they kind of dried out. Like some things are just, some stuff is just not entertaining anymore. You know, but again, you know, I'm one out of 500 who disagree. You know what I'm saying? And even if we do disagree together, we're still watching it. So as long as we keep turning on the TV to Vince, he's going to keep doing whatever the hell he wants. The only way he's going to really change if we really just stop watching. But as long as you have loyal fans, you're going to keep doing what the hell you're going to do.
And it's not even so much about people stop watching. I think he's more Vince. I listen to a lot of interviews, so it's like sometimes it feels like I don't know the guy from home. I don't even know how tall he is, whatever. But you listen to a lot of interviews, you kind of feel like you got a perspective on who he is because these are shoot interviews. And Vince is always so he's always paranoid about like someone over like being better than him. So the best way, that's why they say competition is good. And the reality of it is us as wrestling fans, you want to wake up to Ring of Honor, Impact, TNA, whatever the hell they call themselves, NWA, AEW. You want those guys, those four companies, to have prime time shows and be putting on good product, good numbers, so on and so forth. Because obviously what's going to make Vince put out the best product? Competition, legitimate competition, not just something that's like a flash in the pan because it's like, oh yeah, this is cool right now only because it's new. That's everything.
Yeah, everything.
Like,
that's why
you can have
AEW.
your favorite. Yeah, exactly. You can have your favorite toy, watch, car, game console, whatever it is. Like you could be a PlayStation 4 person, PlayStation 5 person, and someone got you an Xbox. You're like, oh shoot, this is new. I'm gonna play this for a week. Then you're gonna go back to what you know and what you love, and that's the PlayStation. That's the same thing with WWE. So it's like if you have these guys who are legitimately giving these people giving WWE real competition, you're going to see something. Till then, like you said, everybody's just going to be complaining, crying, carrying on, but then watching Raw or SmackDown or both and just go on whatever social media platform and just bitch about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I hate Raw, I hate SmackDown, then watch it for, like, we were doing it. I mean, like I said, too, like, I stopped watching, going into that, I stopped watching in the mid-2010s. I stopped watching wrestling after a while. I'm like, it's kind of getting dry, so, I just stopped liking it. But
you just watch it for the road to WrestleMania. You watch SummerSlam to see what they're doing. Then you watch the Rumble for the surprise comebacks, or let's see if they're going to actually get this right. Because I haven't seen them get it right for a very long time as far as like, oh, shoot, we're going to push this guy to the moon. Like this is someone who's never been in the world title picture or never had like a good run, and he wins the Rumble. And it's like, oh, snap. Like, he's headlining Mania. Even though now, like, even that ain't worth the much because I'm sorry, man. I'm like, in my opinion, the way you're supposed to do it is whoever wins the Rumble headlines Mania. And like, either you close it out or you're the second, especially that now we have a women and a men's Royal Rumble. And that's how the card of Mania should be. It's like, okay, whoever's the bigger draw out of the women or males is who close it out. But if it's a 40 match card, the way Mania has been lately, all right, match 39 is the winner of this Rumble, match 40 is the winner of that Rumble for the world title.
Yeah, like it's just been like you said. That's the problem with WWE. I mean, if we're gonna keep going into it, that's we'll talk about that. I guess another time.
But that's just. But to answer. Sorry, don't trying to stay on track. It's like if I had production, like, hey, stay on topic. So that's my point when it comes to the tag team wrestling. I agree. I do see it. Vince has shown it several times. Like he's always tried to shoot. He's never let a team ride out their whole time as a team and retire as a team, or let one guy retire. Like for example, if he would have kept Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin together, now we should see Shelton as a singles competitor probably within the past maybe like I don't know. Charlie Haas retired. I forgot how many years ago, but because he retired. Not because you split them up. So yeah,
exactly. Like the world's greatest, like run down some names, right? Like you said, the world's greatest tag team, great team. Them two, great. Because the reason why, because Shelton can't cut a promo. He can't. I think Charlie Haas probably would have been the better one out of them in the mic. Even though his mic skills wasn't as bad, but it was more approachable. His was more to say tolerable than Benjamin, because Benjamin is like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna kick your.
So we're gonna go into this Monday night, this SmackDown, and we're gonna beat you guys, and we're gonna pin you because that's how we do it. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
pretty much how you. Yeah, that's pretty much how you cut it.
So that you
Yeah.
have him, they have them. You had them correction. You know what I'm saying? Others down the line. Well, now let's fast forward. I'm sorry. Let's fast forward. We had the Ascension. They shitted on them from the moment they came to Raw.
Oh yeah.
Like the moment them guys came to Raw.
Remember, we were in attendance when they debuted in Raw.
Yeah, and it was like they shitted on them within the next week. Like you said, Authors of Pain. The moment they came, it was like they shitted on them. It's too many. The Revival. That's why they left. They shitted on them.
Rival.
Yeah, that would have been a great team.
The OC. Well, that's what they call them now. But what was their names before?
The Bullet Club. Well, Anderson and Gallows.
Yeah, they shitted on them too.
They're the club because the Bullet Club is in Japan.
Yeah, they shitted on them too. Like, it's like your shit. Like, I don't like Vince. It's like for Vince, 2 matches, maybe 3, and he's going home. Because it's like if you're giving him too much, it's like he don't know what to do with it. Because, you know, it's like he has too much because he seriously. Vince have like a 5 to 10 year plan with 2-3 wrestlers. If you think about it, it's like if you could be good for 10 years, he's gonna let you milk it for 10 years. He's not gonna give you enough. He's not gonna give nobody else a shot. It's like 5 to 10 year minimum for Vince if you're a top notch superstar. Because it's like look at who has been, especially with the women's division. Charlotte, if Becky was still here, Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley. That's them 4. They've been the ones taking over the women's division. Now for the world championship, we had Brock Lesnar. No, actually,
Brock
the Universal
Lesnar,
Championship.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. WWE Championship is like that's the okay. We can care less about that championship, so anybody can get that. That's basically like the WCW 2000 WCW title run. WWE Championship sometimes. Honestly, it's like they test the waters with that one. They're like, all right, let's see who can be good with that one. But Brock is going to forever be this champion. And then even the tag team, even though Vince don't like tag team, he still have his chosen few. He's like, all right, I don't like it, but you two will be champions for a long time. Like the Usos, New Day. I love them. But it's like, you know, you're getting rid of the other tag teams. You're not giving other ones a chance. So it's been the Usos. And it's been the Usos and New Day. Uso, New Day, Uso, New Day, Uso, New Day. The Bar was doing good. I think because Sheamus is basically getting older, that's why they kind of split them up. And I think his injuries is kind of catching up to him. So the Bar was doing good. Who else for Raw? For Raw,
I mean, they got right now. They have Street Profits. Street Profits is pretty much
Street
like
Profits, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty much. We love to work those guys. They're pretty much the tag team right now. But I'm like, who are they going up against for the tag team championships? Like, who are they feuding with?
Right now, who are they? Oh, they were feuding with the Vikings, and then they squashed that storyline, making them do basically a bunch of nothings. Like their competition is bowling games, pool table games, tic-tac-toes, like beer drinking games, things that's not relevant to these guys. Like, why do y'all do that? And then it's like they give the energy to wrestlers or people that's really like they need training. They the ones that need comical moments. You know, they the ones that need the comedy views. They need
a push. They need something else to push. And now the guys and gals who can't put it out there in the ring. It's like it's pretty much ass backwards. Like the ones who can't give a good match, let's give them all the in-ring time so they could train. I was like, no, that's what developmental is for.
Exactly.
And then the ones who basically can work, they just like, well, okay, you're just gonna entertain us. I was like, no, they can work. You should put them in more matches.
Yeah, exactly. Put them in more matches and put the ones who can't wrestle in segments because they still need training.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like, especially with women, like if you're a blonde bombshell, they're gonna Vince giving you all the airtime.
He fucking loves that.
Yeah, but if you are not a blonde, but you can work, fine, you're gonna be in these segments like that don't make sense. Why is he using you like that? And yes, it goes. I mean, you know, just another quick rant. As always, we ranting, but it's the truth. Is the truth. Yeah, we want to go to WWE, you know, and it'll be all, but because we want the perks of like JT said, like previous videos, come in, build yourself up. Make a name, build yourself up and make a name for yourself while you're building up. Go for the mid-card championship. You know what I'm saying? Have a good run with that. Become a tag team if you choose to. Become a tag team. Have a nice tag team run. And then make your way into WrestleMania. Like, go into the Royal Rumble, of course. Win the Rumble. Have a nice, like Drew McIntyre. Have a nice storyline to go behind it. Win the Royal Rumble, headline WrestleMania, become WWE champion, and that's what everybody wants. But Vince don't want to give that shit to everybody. Sorry, we don't.
Apparently not.
Not at all. All right, I guess we lost JT for the moment. Let's continue.
Sorry, I'm here. I hear you guys.
Yeah, video-wise, yeah.
Video-wise, well, let's just keep it going.
All right. I mean, it's clear enough, yeah, and you gave great examples of teams I've forgotten about too, like the Revival, as far as tag teams are concerned, Vince not caring at all or that much for it. It's painfully obvious too. So now, besides buckling down on getting rid of the couples or the tag teams, better yet said, allegedly, or I guess for real now, Vince is also cutting down on wrestlers making money outside of wrestling, specifically with Twitch, Cameo, YouTube, everything else they got going on, which a lot of them have started jumping ship and doing that. I guess the most obvious example would be Xavier Woods. He had a YouTube channel for the longest time, but now he's doing Twitch because he's injured. And I think Paige might be the second
I think
most
Paige is
popular
doing really
one.
well on Twitch.
Really well. Like, she's making bank off of just streaming and talking and not even doing anything, but just being Paige on Twitch. But
Paige done move. Paige done changed to a whoa. She done changed, boy.
I honestly don't like it. I liked it how she looked back when. It was just more. She was herself.
She looks crazy. I mean, sorry, Paige, but you was better off natural. Seriously, like, she really did a lot on herself. I mean, she don't look bad, but it's just she has gotten work done.
It's like how I like Kim Kardashian when I first saw her, like unibrow, like darker skin tone, like naturally fat ass instead of what we got now, which is unnatural. But it's time changes, I guess. We all evolve somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Or we go into the scalpel because we choose to, not because we need to. I think you guys are good. I might need a touch up here or there in a couple of years from now, but
man, good. We're all good in our way.
I'm cracking crow's feet. They're coming at me. Look at my forehead. See? Bad. I've been had that since I was like 12. So it's only gotten worse. A hard life. But yeah, that was crazy to read that now. It makes sense because of the pandemic. Like we touched on the last episode, JT mainly, and rightfully so, your issue was OnlyFans or any of that Patreon stuff killing kayfabe for good. As far as you have a story on TV, you got something going on there, but when it comes time to leave the TV screen or leave the cameras, you just go completely left field, mess everything up, reveal inside details about your life. Oh, I'm not really injured, or Aleister Black. Oh, my eyes are really not missing, or whatever kind of thing. And just messing it up for what they're trying to present on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's any story left or involved anymore. So now he came down saying, well, you guys have 30 days to stop doing all that shit altogether, or you're either going to get suspended indefinitely or probably fired because I'm tired of that shit. I think, Nitro, you said because, or was it JT, I think, because Sasha said something she shouldn't have. She should have okayed with management first.
No, I don't know I don't know. I just saw, I don't know if it was clickbait or something. Apparently something that she got in trouble for promoting something. Promoting a brand on one of those pages. And I guess I'm reading,
because I had read, I'm sorry, to jump in, but I had read it was, I think, Lana, actually. She was doing like
Lana,
Bang
yes,
Energy.
It was Lana. Yes, Lana.
And Vince got word and got pissed, so.
Yeah, it was Lana. I don't know why I thought Sasha. My opinion on it is, there's got to be a fine line. It's like, okay, we're doing this podcast, right? Perfect example. And long as we're not, Soup and I aren't breaking kayfabe, there's nothing wrong with it. And it's one of those things where it's like, let's just be honest. WWE is, endorsements and all that stuff, but look at who you have to be to get those. So I look at us, like if Brooklyn Dynasty, if we were able, if luckily we were able to be in WWE, but, we're not getting that push. We're basically getting in a bunch of throw matches or dark matches, whatever. But this podcast is like booming. It's booming. That's great. And that's great for us because at least we know we have, other revenue, other stuff coming up, and then things to get ourselves over. Because at the end of the day, we all know when it comes to this business, nothing is promised. Whether injury or you just go to your locker room and say, hey, then you talk to you in the office. Oh, I'm fired. But cuts. So you kind of want to do something to kind of really get yourself over and whatnot and stuff. So my opinion, like I've been said, as far as like my overall, if you're not breaking kayfabe, there should be nothing wrong with that because because it's kind of like this. If people love us like I use this podcast example, if you're touching 500,000 homes, 700,000 homes, hell, 1 million homes, and maybe those people don't even watch WWE, you at least know some of them are going to come to see us. So that helps everyone out. Mm-hmm. So that's my overall opinion on the whole thing. If you're breaking kayfabe and all that stuff, if like Lana, since her name, if just last week on Monday there was a sex scene with you and Bobby in a hotel, and then next week you're like, happy anniversary of my loving husband, Rusev is like, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's different. That's different. But if you're not doing it, then make your money. That's just my opinion. As long as you're not putting bad attention onto the company, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, of course. Because I would think it's so easy to maintain something as simple as kayfabe. It's like you play a character, you have a story per se, or what you're given to act according to or go by per se and everything too. How hard is it to just stream as a character? Or, this is my real name, but still keep within the realms of what's going on TV. You haven't watched yet, now it's ruined because you're confused. Are they really in a feud with that person? Are they not?
Yeah.
Is this going on? No consistency of sorts. I wouldn't think it's that hard to do.
Yeah, and like I said, as long as you're not breaking kayfabe, because at the end of the day, to my opinion, that's our job the most. The job is if my name do come out and you know who I am, but when I get in that ring, you gotta be like, oh crap, I'm watching JT Redick. Like that's our job. We shouldn't take shortcuts. It's like when you heard Undertaker's name, Mark Calloway, it's like, okay, yeah, everyone knows you're Mark, but no, you're still the Undertaker because you did that good of a job. So I think that it's, to my personal opinion, I think it's cheap and it's cowardly to to insult the fans that much because there's Google. You see and know everything. But of course, if I turn on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, pay-per-view, whatever, and I see Lana come out, and let's use the same example, and she really selling the shit with her and Bobby, I'm like, oh damn, are they really doing something? Is she messing with both of them because she's doing that good of a job?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm sorry, I wanted my little input on it too. It's like I was saying earlier. Mentioning earlier, it's like it's many different. Basically, it branches off. There's many different things that branches off. It is like you said, Vince wanted to completely shut it because it's like, basically it's just ruining everything. But like you say, if it's ruining your storyline, then obviously don't do it because you want, especially if you want the fans and everyone to invest in your situation. But like you said, overall, if it's something basic and common, there shouldn't be nothing wrong with that because especially like you said, if I'm still going to be Super Nitro doing Twitch, I'm gonna come off as Super Nitro, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, Yeah. But like you said, if I'm like, oh, that's just a character I play. If I'm disrespecting it, then that's when there is a. There should be some solid guidelines, but I don't think. Personally, I'm, and that's why I say where I do feel, of course, the control. Like Vince wants to control so much because you want people to tune into your product, even if it's like, okay, I don't know how ratings are broken up, but let's say if who's somebody that's not really getting pushed, but they're doing their thing on that. In WWE?
Yeah, well, I'll use someone from before, Zack Ryder, perfect example. WWE was wiping their ass with this guy. Let's just be honest. And he still, front to back, folded it, like everything. So let's say, so this guy's pushing himself and getting himself over. And if when he comes on TV and your ratings spike up 0.2, that's a win because you're like, okay, we got more people to tune in because more people like this guy. And that's what I understand. But of course, like I said, but what I started saying with the controlling is always the stigma because we don't know how true it is. But come on, if everyone says it, it's got to be true. Vince hate what he doesn't create.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
if he didn't create it, he hates it. Like he basically like, I mean, I look at it like, for goodness sake, man, you had all your women, not all, I'm sorry, you had your top women, pose for Playboy. So like they got that push, and it's like, but you're okay with that, and it's like that's not ruining kayfabe. It's like I thought, like I'm just confused. That's the thing that I just don't understand. It's like what difference is it for someone showing gaming and all that stuff because you want to be able to relate more to your fans. You want to be able to get more out of them because at the end of the day too, it's pretty much like John Cena said, oh, the fans are the ones who have the keys to the gym basically for the WWE, like to open up and fill up. Then I should be able to relate to them as much as possible. Basically, where it's like if I'm doing all these live streams and all that stuff, and then it's like, okay, I got this big audience, and then I come out and I'm a draw, you're winning because people are buying tickets because they want to see me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but of course, like I said, my theory, don't know, never had a conversation with Vincent Kennedy McMahon. But if he did, damn it, it wasn't me. I didn't create it. So I can't have that going on in my company. Then it's like, all right, dude, whatever.
You know what? All this social media, internet stuff, I can't control it. Damn it, you're fired.
Yeah, so I mean, that's my answering your question. That's my opinion on it. If it's breaking kayfabe, police it and say, hey, don't break kayfabe, but push yourself.
Yeah, basically. I mean, like seriously, just at least protect the business to some degree. I mean, everybody knows, but like that's another thing too. Like, even though we know. But we still want to feel like give us still something to look forward to for those who still respect it because it's like, all right, we know, but keep us engaged, keep us entertained. Just like, again, like sets, like one of y'all mentioned it before, television, we know it's scripted, we know it's fake, we know like these things are not happening, but what? We're tuning in because we like the story, we like what's going on. So again, like, if you're doing your job to keep the fans engaged, then you won't have to worry about losing anything. As long as you keep the fans engaged. That's another thing too. Again, going back to that, going into that real quick, is it keeping the fans engaged? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they're being cheesy with certain storylines. Like they're taking, like Vince is taking things from the 80s, the mindset, it's like the mindset from the 80s, like, oh my God, look at this. I'm like, wait, Vince, whoa, I know you didn't just go back to the 80s on this one. Like, who's going to believe this is going on right now? Like, seriously? Like, this, it's like, I feel like he's just, like, I know they say history repeats itself, but I feel with certain storylines, it's like, it's not believable because he's not really heavily investing in it, or he's not making them really draw us in. It's just, it's got to be a real fight at this point. It's got to be real heat for you to really go, oh, I'm enjoying this because it's real heat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, the storylines, how it built back then, me personally, like, Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, you know what I'm saying, Undertaker, they were great at it. Even Undertaker from his past to his current, he still made you believe that what he was doing is legit because that's how invested he is in his gimmick. Anyways, I'm going off, but that's just the point I made. Just, just work. Anyways, let's go.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I was just think again, it's not a bad thing if you're an entertainer, if you're a wrestler at the end of the day, and you can make some extra income, especially in these times. You can't perform live, or if you're not in the WWE, you're not in the Performance Center or wherever they got that Raw and SmackDown going from now with the Thunderdome business going on. You're struggling, or maybe not struggling, but you're trying to make ends meet.
But you're not making me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and if you're lucky enough to do the stream, and it's getting good,
and it works for you,
and it works for you, and people go to you, period, because they know you as a wrestler, and you gain more from it. More power to you, but it goes hand in hand. I can kind of see Vince's point if he's going off of you're fucking up the storylines, or writing all this stuff last minute, making all these changes on the go as we go into Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, just for you to throw it out the window. Which, what's the name? Lana's notorious for. CJ Perry, whatever she calls herself, too. I mean, she has the advantage. She's great to look at, but I don't think she has much up here. And I hate to say that about anybody on the roster right now because
she definitely gets a lot of slaps on the wrist because she's like, I don't think she comprehends it, you know. And I want to know her backstory. I'm like, did you grow up as a fan, or did WWE do what they always did? You're great to look at, and they put you in here and they're like, hey, we're gonna have you manage, because that is something that she is real notorious for. Like, that's why when they did the whole Bobby Lashley storyline, I was like, that's the wrong person to do it. I didn't trust her.
Yeah, because
I didn't trust her with the keys on that one.
Yeah, because she was the one who basically when her and Rusev broke up like before, within that same week, she posted a picture of them two being engaged. So it's like, yo, like the storyline is you're supposed to be broken up, and you're like, congratulations to my fiance. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? You like you said, it's just, you know, some people just don't know. Some people don't know how to protect it. Some people don't know how to do it. And I guess that's what it is. Vince is mad because the ones who did it wrong, he's punishing everyone.
Everybody has to suffer. Yeah.
You know, for the idiots who don't do it right, it's like, yo, dummy, that's not what you're supposed to do. Like, you know, like I said, like prime example, like when myself and Riddick was going at it, when we had our rivalry, we had our feud. Even though like we both literally have the same amount of friends, but anything I post personally or whatever, I didn't post him because even on my page, because we had to keep the storyline going that we're beefing, we have heat with each other. So I had to basically anything with us, I had to go, all right, I'm gonna post this here, but not here. Just to have people go, do they? I mean, first off, they didn't even know we were brothers, so you know that's what made it even a little easier.
That too. So, I guess that helps too.
Yeah, but still, you know, it's like, wait a second, aren't y'all? Hold up, huh? So yeah, social media do, you know, off the strength, real quick. Social media have ruined wrestling off of that too, because like you said, everybody posts every freaking thing now. So it's like, so it makes it hard to keep certain storylines going. Back then, it was always I heard, and you had to
or you had to have a magazine or someone there with a camera.
Now everything is on social media, so you know, it does kind of ruin the business of wrestling. You know, it does, because you know.
I think, like I said before, if you can, because at the end of the day, it's my personal opinion. When it comes to wrestling, the most important thing is obviously wrestling, knowing what you're doing, being good at your gimmick and your work. So that's, to my opinion, the most important thing. But we also got to know, like I keep saying, you got to get yourself over, and you got to get yourself over. And in any sport, from football, I don't know what they got, like a 58-man roster, the basketball 15-man roster, you know, all that stuff. Everybody isn't getting pushed. And that's only one team. Same thing with wrestlers. Like, I don't even know how many people are on contract in WWE. So it's like, you got to find something for yourself. You got to find something that's going to that insurance plan, like your backup plan. And it helps everyone, long as, like I said, you do it correctly, long as you don't hurt the business when doing so. Then it should be no what was I gonna say? You shouldn't police that in that regard. And for the people who keep breaking it, Lana, you get rid of them, because like you obviously don't comprehend, because it's like that, to my opinion, is just what it comes down to. Because like I said, as far as you're keeping, like from the last episode when we used the OnlyFans thing as an example, it's like you can get that for, it's obviously only the indies that's allowed, but you can, the explicit version is allowed. I think I've heard that you actually can do more. Like, you actually can just use it for just really getting to know the person. But but like I said, if you can't work, that's eventually going to be your only means. So as far as wrestling, you're going to eventually see your way out the door. You look good in, you know, that lingerie, but you can't even bump. So that's what's even for that. It's like, yo, you know, you're on Twitch, you're on Cameo, all these other stuff. If you can work and it's going to get more people, it's like, I would be pushing. I'm like, hey, push the show. You know, like, hey, all right, this is JT Riddick. I'm on Twitch. Welcome my live stream for NBA 2K21. By the way, WWE Monday Night Raw will be at such and such, or USA this time. So you're getting more. You're putting it out to more people, and especially if you're selling the product. That's just why I just feel like everybody can win on that. I just don't
Exactly.
understand why it's like. I mean, like I said, my personal theory. I already said that because Vince didn't create it, so he hates it. But it's like, dude, you can use this as a win.
Exactly. Yeah. And bringing so many different people. I mean, they're doing the Thunderdome thing, which isn't. It's a great idea. And as far as it working, as long as they got people monitoring, I'm sure like to take off the, the Chris Benoit pictures they had up or the Pikachu pictures they had up on the screens too while watching SmackDown,
Yeah.
I think you're pretty much golden. But you can do the same thing with everybody else doing their thing on Twitch and whatever. Monitor, make sure they're kind of keeping within guidelines that best suits the company, and that's it. But speaking of, if we're getting rid of stuff as far as Vince is concerned with tag teams, with people twitching, people only fanning and all that stuff too, the only reason I think we got the pleasant surprise of at SummerSlam, Roman Reigns turning heel, and on top of that, teaming up or being paired up with, Paul Heyman, of all things, is because we got, apparently I think it's true now at this point, Brock has gotten the boot officially from the company because they couldn't come to terms as far as, of course, the money's concerned. So there's the possible chance, obviously, everybody who leaves WWE, they're jumping to AEW, they're going to here, they're in talks with New Japan, et cetera, et cetera. Just to close things out, where do you book or what do you do if you feel like booking Brock? Because I know how you feel, JT. I think I kind of know how you feel, Nitro. And I have my feelings on it too. But
Booking with a one-way
how do
plane
you
ticket
book
to his
Brock?
house.
How do you book Brock at this point, if you do at all now, since he's a free agent?
All right, I'm doing it.
Oh, wait. How do you,
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, let him
first
get
thing-
it off. He's got
Yeah,
energy.
I'm about to say,
Let him go in.
If you know anything about me, I do not like Brock Lesnar whatsoever. I can't stand watching him in the ring. I don't like the way he works. I don't like the way he's promoted, pushed, all of that stuff. Because, to my opinion, he says it all the time. He doesn't care for this. It's about the money. So he's like, he's told the business on several occasions to kiss his ass. But if you want to work and you want to do something, I would book Jericho and Lesnar in New Japan because Jericho and Lesnar have real heat. And you don't attach them to AEW, but you still let AEW get that push because Jericho's an AEW superstar. And it's like you let him know. Because, I mean, I've seen Brock work AJ, and he let AJ get stuff in. So I'm quite sure Jericho's not going to play that in the ring. He's going to get his in. So I would book it that way because that payday would be astronomical. It would.
yeah.
And then especially if you can do, like, the best way I would book it to honestly is AEW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling, and the main event is Jericho versus Brock Lesnar, because that way you're still giving AEW guys that push, and you're letting, and then it's like, all right, Jericho and Lesnar, let it out, like from promos to old heat, because we remember when Lesnar bust open Randy, Jericho's the only one who had the balls to press him on the and outside, like, yo, what the fuck is that? What you doing? So we all know since then, there's been no love lost between those two. So let it happen.
Let it flesh out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nitro, how do you book Brock, if you do at all, at this point?
Well, like JT, now that, he kind of like rewired my thought process, because it's true. With him and Jericho, he has real heat with Jericho, and him and Jericho will be a good feud, good matchup, good setup. But the thing is, because the only reason why I'm like with Brock Lesnar, because the way he works, they're not going to allow that in those promotions. Like, I feel New Japan might really go fisticuffs with him. Like, oh, you want to fight? Let's go. Because we're not with that shit. We're not going to basically let you just slam us and call it a day. We're not going to do that. And AEW, I feel they kind of the same way too. Like, they going to be like, listen, it's not WWE. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to let you just suplex everybody all around like you want to. But
I would hope. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but because Brock is who he is too, I feel that he won't go with AEW, because I feel they're not going to give him what he wants. He doesn't want to wrestle every day or every week. He's going to want to wrestle whenever the hell he feels like it. And they're going to be like, well, then deuces. Because, we kind of need you for this. And Brock doesn't work well with wrestling schedules, you know. But I think though, I think AEW is more flexible than WWE, so I feel it shouldn't be a problem because he got to do whatever the hell he kind of want to do with a busy schedule in WWE. I feel AEW would probably find something for him because they don't do it. They're not all around anyways, especially with COVID going on.
Yeah.
So I think.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I would think, and then so with New Japan also, I just feel that New Japan will be like, all right, you want to shoot, let's shoot. Like so you want to shoot, let's shoot.
That's why clarifying. That's why I booked it for one super show. If I had to book them, I'm only booking you for one show because I'm not putting you on the contract because you want to be a part-timer, and none of those shows can afford to have you as a part-timer because we need you to kind of be the guy because, of course, unfortunately, I don't know why you're such a draw. So
because he's Brock Lesnar, the name,
exactly,
Brock Lesnar.
the name. So so because he's such a draw, that's why I said you give him that one big show, like basically like when it was Kenny and Jericho working at it, Kenny Omega and Jericho. So that's pretty much like I said, do one big super show. That way you kind of Brock gets what he wants, money, and AEW get that real big can you imagine the buyout for that event?
Yeah, no, it will buy out, and that's another thing too. That's another reason why I hesitate to even book him because Brock wrestles who he wants to wrestle against. He'll put on his boots for the person that he's worth putting his boots for. And then what sucks is that if he doesn't like you, it's like he's going to shit on you even more. So it's bad enough if he doesn't care to wrestle you, he'll just put on whatever. But now if he doesn't like you, now he's looking to even hurt you even more. So like if he does fight Jericho, if he goes against Jericho, yes, that would be a good draw. But then how would the match?
How's the match be? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know he's going to try to suplex Jericho every freaking where. And Jericho's going to be like, I'm not with this shit. I'm going to stiff you for real. And now that's going to turn to an all-out fight. So that's the only thing that sucks about booking, bro. That's why I'm not so eager. I wouldn't even be eager to book him because
But what could happen is if it turns into a shoot, AEW could just come out and beat the shit out of him and then walk out. Sorry, what wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know, right? Because he can't beat everybody up. I mean, he could fight, but I know he can't beat it. Somebody in there going to be like, what? Let me knock him out, or whatever.
Well, I mean, the bad thing is the AEW roster, there's no one really big on there, too, anyway. They got Luchasaurus. That's about it, really.
What's that man's name? Is it Luke Harper?
Oh, well, Luke Harper, okay, yeah. But he's not really, he's just tall, really. He's not
he's tall. He's not, Brock
He'll get ragdoll.
Brock is literally at this point, he's the Incredible Hulk. I mean, no doubt about it. That man is strong as hell. He's really fucking strong. So you're gonna have to take the whole roster plus the trainees, plus the production team. Like just take the barbell, take the wrestling canvas and put it on him. He's like, hey, put everything else on him. Put the bell, put everything. Put the beam, put the wrestling beams on him. But
get JR in there too. He'll spill some barbecue sauce under him, so he'll slip.
Exactly. Get in his eye. Get in his eye.
Exactly. But see, that's why me personally, I went in I mean, in the video game world, perfect, because that's perfect because you can control Brock's moveset. But in real life, because how the way we've seen him wrestle and how he is, it sucks. But we don't know what kind of match we're going to get from him. We know. So, if he had the love for the business as he did probably years ago, I feel he would probably do a little. He could have been better. He could have been. Yeah. The past almost 10 years, because we got 8 years of Brock. 8.
14 he came. Or 13?
No, 12. He came back 2012.
12.
So 8 years. We got 8 years of just suplexes, suplex.
And that's because I think, and this is where I don't think Brock will get booked because I think WWE gave him the keys. Because the only reason why Brock wrestled the way he did in 2000, 2 to 4, because like Paul Heyman said it, he literally had a 2-year run. Was he was still green. He was still doing what he was told. He was still like, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that, and he did it. He listened. Now. Come on, you had the #1 company in the world. The whole world said, yeah, you could do whatever the hell you want. You think he going to listen to anybody else?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like, you don't run me. That's what I'm saying. It won't even – that's what I'm like, for him to even go to AEW, he wouldn't go there. He wouldn't go there. He might go to – like you say, he might go to Japan, but he know they will probably They'll give somebody just as strong as him. They're like, we train
Uh-huh.
too. You think you're the only person who trains? I got somebody for you.
Yeah.
I got somebody for you. So, that's how I feel about that.
I think it'll be a rough time for Brock, especially in New Japan. You're right with that.
Yeah.
AEW would have to get a really big bag to even like get him out of bed to think about it twice or reconsider. But I think, he'd still be a draw, but it'd be super hard because you got to have someone willing to work, one, like you said, and then two, see what who's he's gonna want to work with, if at all, and what he's gonna do when it comes time to go too, or how he's gonna comply. Because you've seen already too, he gets hit once, kind of stiff, and he'll just stiff right back immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
That too. So then that puts the other guy at risk as well, again, legit hit. And I would like to see Jericho Brock though actually, come to life. That would be nice to see finally.
That would be, but he's gonna just try to suplex the man. He's gonna try to suplex his soul away and F5 him to the F5 him to the canvas, like through the canvas, through the wood. Like he's gonna
aim to imprint Jericho's body on that canvas.
Exactly, just bang. No,
like a damn police scene to chalk draw out.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and I mean, Jericho's not in the shape he was before to even take bumps like that too. He's gonna bounce right back off of that belly he's got right now too.
Yeah, exactly.
And no chest.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we'll see how things roll along. Again, this was another installment of My Friend the Wrestler with, of course, the Brooklyn Dynasty, the brothers. Who else but JT Riddick, Super Nitro, and flip that in reverse order. Super Nitro, JT Riddick. Not to disrespect whoever's older, whoever's younger, we'll just do it like that because they don't care. They're blood. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. With the Dynasty, it doesn't matter. Let's go.
And by the way, they're champs, so, respect that too as well.
Of course. Tag team, long reigning, first ever and longest reigning NEW tag team champion.
Breaking record, making, undisputed, undefeated.
Exactly.
Full on coronavirus, ending, starting, still champs, walking out of 2020. We'll make it to 2023. Probably they'll still be champs just because it looks good on them.
Yeah.
Why not?
So far, yes. November will make it, a year?
Really?
Days.
Yeah, November will make it a year.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Year one of the dynasty.
Year one. Mm-hmm. We defended the titles only once, actually. So we trying to defend it again, and we will. We're gonna defend it again.
And that's Corona's fault. That's not you guys being cowards or anything.
Oh no, we take on any challenge. Any and all challenges.
We put on the mask.
Massive interference, global size interference.
Exactly. We put on a mask right now and fight anybody. If they want us in hazardous suits, we'll put on the hazardous suits and defend the tag titles. Hey,
as long as they're red and blue, we're in it.
I'll take my helmet off and finish you with it. Boop.
It's like Mr. Fuji came through with a bag of salt, threw it in all our eyes, and was still selling too heavily. We still can't see nothing.
Honestly.
Exactly. So we're ready to defend it, man. We are. I mean, honestly, anybody could get it. Hey, could get it. Could get it.
It's a lot of energy. But yeah, as he said it best. We welcome all and any challenges. And once this thing is lifted and once we get back in the ring and start defending our gold and show you why we are the champions and why we've earned it.
One more time.
We're going to do it.
One more time. Say it again. Why we what?
Why we the champions, why we've earned it, and why we've kept it. So
one more time. Why we're the champions, why we kept it, and why we earned it.
All right, yeah, shut up.
I know, right? That's why he suplexed me the way he did years ago.
Pretty much.
And before we close out officially, though, let's not forget, JT, you do have a match coming up. Apparently, it's scheduled for the end of this current month, September, correct?
It should be. Hopefully, I'm cleared. Everything comes back looking good from the doctors and whatnot. We're nursing the injury, and I've been getting in the ring to get back in shape. So hopefully, everything looks good, and I'll be back.
Let's hope on that.
I had to keep the team alive.
Yeah.
Had to keep the team alive. But JT got it, though. He got it. He's going to return.
Yeah, he got it. He's good.
We're going to be back better than ever, buddy. Let's go.
I just hope whoever he's facing is ready for JT, for newly recouped and recovered and fresh JT.
Let's hope. Let's hope, because he not going to have a choice.
Woo! Or she, because there's been a lot of female competitors too, right?
JT, don't do that.
True.
Come on.
No,
there's been some strong. we go. I'm gonna shout her out. I'm gonna shout her right now. Karen Bam Bam.
Oh man.
She won a world heavyweight championship. I'm sorry, I don't know which promotion, but she beat Dan the Man. So
really,
props to her.
Congrats to Karen Bam Bam.
So
yeah, definitely.
Don't sleep on the women now. They about to
I'm
knock us
not.
out.
I'm not. Women are taking over the world, so
Exactly.
I'm not.
So
I was
going
to say JT's a little too upset with the OnlyFans thing taking off like that, so now he's gonna take it out on his
I'm not
person
upset. I'm not upset.
Oh,
Please do not create that narrative. I am not upset.
Speaking of that, JT, you know, what about one of like a trainer of mine? Well, training. He still was speaking about what you said about how you compared
like
like
the strippers.
Yeah, he said, you know what? He made a point. He made a good point.
It was a good point.
Like that.
That was a good ass point.
But it's the truth, because the reality of it is, man, like I said, you know, like the three of us right now, we was off. It wasn't COVID, and we all was going to whatever event we were going to. And, you know, it was like their job is the second we walk through that door is to have us like, man, I think I got a shot with her. I think I got a chance with her. Knowing damn well no. The same thing she's telling you, she told that sweaty guy in the corner right there because he had the money. So, but we still create that illusion. Same thing for wrestlers. It's like, we can put out all kayfabe person you have your feud with, whatever, all of that stuff, so on and so forth, and they can see it all. But the second you get in that ring, it is your job to make sure that fan feels like, nah, they're not my friends. No, I don't believe it. He just gave him blood because he was dying. Nah, they can't be fit. Like, you know, like it's gotta. That's our job. So that's why I said that at one of the trainings I was conducting, and the guys like, oh shit, that's a good analogy.
You better take that and run with it before someone else jumps on it and takes it from you.
Exactly.
Know, right?
Yeah, right. Take that. The next thing you know, you like, I said that.
Yeah, I know, right? Somebody else gonna say it in the podcast. I'm like, real original. I'm gonna have to put when I said it and date it like that was said this time.
Hey, maybe for next episode we can imagine up the scenario of what if somebody came up with, or what if the funds are looking right for us, we come up with the first ever strip club / wrestling promotion.
That would not be so unheard of, because that's where a lot of wrestlers go after shows.
That is really like NR-17. Definitely not for the kids.
No, there's like, this is a no children allowed one.
No, like exclamation. You know how they say, don't try this at home? There's going to be like, no children allowed.
We are IDing at the door.
Exactly. We don't care how you feel about it. 21 and over. We're not playing that 18 and 21.
21. Yep.
All right, cool.
But
all right, boys.
Signing off.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Juan. Appreciate you.
Definitely, man. Appreciate you guys. Always My Friend the Wrestler, available on all streaming platforms, the audio version, the YouTube video version, obviously on YouTube. I just said it on Who This Is One, the channel. Super Riddick. Not Super Riddick. JT.
That was original. That was the first name.
That was the first one. Yeah.
That was the first name.
I mean, why not? One day you might just evolve into it, like a Mewtwo or something like that.
Yeah,
all right,
but
the Super Nitro, JT Riddick, boys, thank you so much. Again, appreciate the time as always, and we'll see you next time for My Friend the Wrestler.
Thanks, Who This.
Thank you.